So The Host just came out into movie theaters, and it made me think about a movie from 2006 that I think you guys should really hear about. The Host. This week I'm going to try a different version of Cinematic Study Guide, you guys, because these things have been taking me about 6 hours apiece to put together, which may not seem like a lot of time, but it takes away from the work I'm doing on Pops. Now, I love monster movies, alright? The Host from 2006 is a monster movie. I dig it when an overly large creature has it in for mankind. Jaws, and Cloverfield, and Tremors, Lake Placid, Godzilla, of course. And I'm one of the ones who likes the Godzilla from the 90s. I went to that movie instead of going to my senior prom. I dig monster movies. And The Host from 2006 has to be one of my favorites. Check it out. The Host, 2006. Movie starts out with an American coroner. He doesn't like things dirty, so since all of his formaldehyde bottles have a layer of dust over them, he has his assistant pour them down the drain, which leads right into the Han River. Then we meet this family. Kind of a simpleton of a dad, little daughter, a very loving grandfather. The dad's sister is an Olympic-level archer, and his brother is a drunk. Unlike a lot of monster movies who save the goods for the end, The Host is like, you know what? Check this noise out. From 11 minutes in until 20 minutes in is one of my favorite visual effects sequences of all time, with shots like this, and like this, and like this. It's a monster attack that is absolutely amazing. Monster grabs the little daughter, pulls her underwater. Military rounds up the whole town, they get him into this like gymnasium. All of her family mourns her to a point of melodrama where it actually becomes funny. And then bizarre things happen, like one of the guys in the suits trips and he gets up and acts like he's in charge. And that night in the hospital, he gets a call from a cell phone. It's his daughter. And the monster is keeping her and starting to collect other human beings in this area of the sewer, perhaps for later snacking. Family breaks out of military quarantine and goes in search of her. That's all I'm going to tell you about The Host. The Host is an amazing movie. One of the most successful Korean films of all time. Broke off every Korean box office record at the time. There's been rumors of an American remake since 2006. That's gone dark for a while. So when they started talking about the new Host, the Stephenie Meyer Host, I was all jazzed. I was like, oh, we're finally going to get our American The Host made. The mixture that this film plays of amazing monster movie, hilarious comedy, and actual sincere drama and suspense is... It's the weirdest conglomeration of things. Eliza and I just rewatched it again for the first time in years and just loved it. There's this period in the middle of the film where things slow down for a little bit, and I feel like some of the stories that they're telling and some of the things that they're saying, it might get a little lost in translation. The last 45 minutes of it, too, are just awesome. Awesome sequence after awesome sequence. As I said, these cinematic study guides were taking me 6 hours, as opposed to the updates, which take me about an hour and a half. So I was losing a lot of time on Pops, and I spent about 18 hours over the last weekend working on this one VFX shot that was causing me a lot of problems. So my 27.5 VFX done on episode 7 are now a full 28. So this is a much less spoilery version of Cinematic Study Guide. My question for last week, what was your favorite video game movie? The ones that rose to the top the most absolutely were Wreck-It Ralph and Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. Love it. War games came up a lot. Resident Evil. Got mentioned quite a few times, which is another favorite of mine. My question for you this week is simple. Those of you who have seen the last 4 cinematic study guides, we're getting familiar with the new format. Is this new format, which is going to take me less than half the time of the other cinematic study guides, are you still interested in this, or are you only interested in the old version of the cinematic study guides? What do you think? This version would give me more time to work on the post-production of the next episode of Pops. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I will see you next week.